Hello, good morning dear students. In this PPV video session, today we will discuss about in detail unit number 7 and unit name is rate analysis. Okay, so in rate analysis we have to discuss in different topics like as a rate analysis, purpose or importance of rate analysis, factors affecting rate analysis, what is the schedule of rates, task work or turned out work, factors affecting task work, labor required for different works, market rates for materials, labor rates, calculation of quantities, rate analysis of main items and rate analysis of miscellaneous items. So today in this video session we will discuss about in detail in next slide. It is a rate analysis. So what is the rate analysis? The determination of rate per unit of a particular item of work from the cost of quantities of materials, the cost of labors, the cost of equipment and other miscellaneous petty expenses required for its completion is known as rate analysis. So in this point in detail we have to describe this point. It is meaning of the rate analysis, the determination of rate. जो पर्टिकुलर आइटम ऑफ वर्क है उसका जो डिटर्मिनेशन और वो उसका जो रेट आएगा उसको फ्रॉम द कॉस्ट ऑफ क्वांटिटीज ऑफ मटेरियल, वो कहाँ से आएगा? तो जो मटेरियल्स की जो क्वांटिटी होगी वो लेबर का कॉस्ट, कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विपमेंट का कॉस्ट भी हमको कंसिडर करना पड़ेगा एंड अदर मिसकेलियस पेटी एक्सपेंसेस, और जो डिस्क्राइब का जो कॉस्ट है वो डिस्क्राइब, जो एक्टिविटीज है वो डिस्क्राइब नहीं किया गया होगा, तो सम पेटी वर्क्स आर इंक्लूडेड इन द रेट एनालिसिस एंड एक्सपेंसेस रिक्वायर्ड फॉर इट्स कंप्लीशन। तो जो इसको कंप्लीशन करने के लिए ये सभी एक्टिविटीज और चीज़ों को हमको ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा, उसको बोलेंगे हम रेट एनालिसिस। फिक्सिंग रेट पर यूनिट ऑफ एन आइटम, तो जो रेट पर यूनिट ऑफ एन आइटम होगा तो उसमें 3 पॉइंट्स है वो हम कंसिडर करेंगे। पहला पॉइंट है उसमें मटेरियल कॉस्ट, सेकंड पॉइंट इज लेबर कॉस्ट एंड थर्ड पॉइंट इज कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विपमेंट, टूल्स एंड प्लांट। एंड इफ वी हैव डिस्कस इन डिटेल, फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज मटेरियल कॉस्ट। सो व्हाट इज द मटेरियल कॉस्ट? The quantity of different materials like as a particular item 1 unit are worked out. If we have to particular given it as example like a RCC work, so RCC work materials required for 1 meter cube or 10 meter cube of RCC work, like different types of material used and material cost may be considered. Different material used like as a cement, sand, aggregate, steel, etc. are worked down during the completion of activity, and this quantity of materials are multiplied with current market rates, and a lump sum amount is generally provided as material sunrise. So material cost में हम उसका जो मटेरियल का जो कॉस्ट होगा वो हम कंसिडर करेंगे, उसकी जो क्वांटिटी आएगी उसको हम रेट के साथ, करंट मार्केट रेट के साथ मल्टीप्लाइड कर डालेंगे, तो इस तरीके से हमको मटेरियल कॉस्ट है वो मिल जाएगा। सेकंड पॉइंट इज लेबर कॉस्ट। तो व्हाट इज द लेबर कॉस्ट? द एग्जैक्ट नंबर ऑफ लेबर्स रिक्वायर्ड फॉर यूनिट आइटम शेल बी ऑब्टेन्ड फ्रॉम द स्टैंडर्ड्स गिवन इन नेशनल बिल्डिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और फ्रॉम टास्क वर्क फॉर एन आर्टिजन एंड देन इट इज मल्टीप्लाइड बाय द करंट वेजेस पर डे to get the cost of labor for unit item of n work, and a lump sum amount is generally provided as labor sunrise. So in this point labor cost, in talking about in detail in this point, so what different numbers of labors required for a completion of activity, and this standard is given in नेशनल बिल्डिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, यानी कि नेशनल बिल्डिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में इसका पर्टिकुलर स्टैंडर्ड है वो दिया गया है। और टास्क वर्क है वो आर्टिजन और इसको मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे उसका करंट वेजेस, यानी कि उसका जो मेहनतन आएगा वो पर डे का, वहां से हमको कॉस्ट ऑफ लेबर है वो पर्टिकुलर आइटम फॉर वर्क वहां से मिल जाएगा। एंड लंप सम अमाउंट वो जो होगा वो लेबर सनराइज है वो वहां पे एक्सप्लेन किया दी जाएगा। ओके, सो थर्ड पॉइंट है वो कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विपमेंट यानी कि टूल्स एंड प्लांट। इन सम ऑफ द वर्क स्पेशल टाइप ऑफ इक्विपमेंट tools and plants are required. In such case an amount of 1 to 2% of estimated cost is provided. So if we have to take example, different example are described in here. First one is a higher charges of concrete mixer or vibrator. तो जो हम concrete mixer और vibrator का वहाँ पे यूज करेंगे तो वो किसी के पास से हमने हायर किया गया होगा तो उसका हायर चार्ज है वो हमको कंसिडर करना पड़ेगा। Second point, material lift. Third, road roller, charges of crane, etc. So total cost of unit item is equal to material cost plus labor cost plus equipment cost. Okay, and if we have to talk about in detail and more, we have to consider 1.5% taken as a water charges and 10% for contractors profit. Okay, so in this slide we have to discuss definition of rate analysis and fixing rate per unit of an item. 3 points are considered in here. First point is material cost, second one is labor cost and third one is cost of equipment यानी कि tools and plant. In next slide we have to discuss about in detail purpose and importance of rate analysis. So in general we have to discuss in detail in importance of rate analysis. Main purpose of rate analysis, first one is to determine the current rate per unit of an item. Second point, to calculate the quantity of materials required for the project. तो जो project completion के लिए quantity of materials कितनी जरूर रहेगी तो उसका calculation पहले हमको करना पड़ेगा। Third point, to estimate the number of different categories of labors required. So जो उसका estimation हमको rate analysis में लगाना होगा कि different categories labors के जो requirement होगी तो वो कौन सी कैटेगरी और नंबर ऑफ लेबर्स है वो कितने जरूरत है उसमें कंप्लीशन ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट के लिए। फोर्थ पॉइंट इज टू एस्टिमेट द नंबर एंड टाइप्स ऑफ इक्विपमेंट रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द प्रपोज्ड वर्क। फिफ्थ वन इज बाय नोइंग द रेट ऑफ डिफरेंट आइटम्स टू एस्टिमेट द टोटल कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट। इन नेक्स्ट स्लाइड वी हैव टू डिस्कस 6 पॉइंट to examine the viability of rates offered by the contractors. तो जो contractors के द्वारा जो rates है वो ऑफर किया गया होगा तो वो भी हमको देखना पड़ेगा। 7 point, to fix up the labor contract rates. तो जो labor contract rates है उसका फिक्स करने के लिए rate analysis उसका important as well as purpose भी है उसका। 8 point, to determine rates of extra item. तो जो उसका extra item है उसका determine करने के लिए भी रेट ऑफ एनालिसिस है वो अगत्य जरूरी है। टू प्रिपेयर द शेड्यूल ऑफ रेट्स, तो जो शेड्यूल ऑफ रेट्स को प्रिपेयर करने के लिए भी इम्पोर्टेंस है रेट एनालिसिस का। सो इन नेक्स्ट स्लाइड वी हैव टू डिस्कस इन डिटेल फैक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग रेट एनालिसिस। द रेट ऑफ एन आइटम ऑफ वर्क मेनली डिपेंड्स अपॉन द following factors. First one is materials cost. So in material cost generally we have to taken different types of material like as cement, sand, aggregate, steel and etc. items are materials are used in the considered as material cost and it is vary from place to place. Second point is labor cost. The wage of labor is a variable factor and will vary from place to place as well as region to region and person to person and from time to time. Third point is considered equipment and machinery cost. If the execution of an item required the use of some special equipment or plant, the cost of using such equipments on the rental basis should be included in the rate analysis of that item. Fourth point, nature of work. तो उसका जो nature of work है वो कैसा होगा वो भी हमको देखना पड़ेगा। If the work consists of large quantities of the items, the rates may be less and vice versa. Fifth point is location of site. तो जो site है उसका location है वो कैसा है। The site of work will have some effect on the rate of an item under certain conditions. If it is too far, more amount will have to be spent on carting. Similarly, if it is situated in a highly congested area, it will not be possible to take the materials directly to the site, or this will increase the cost of transport of materials as well as consequently the rates of the items will increase. 6th point है वो है वेदर, यानी कि उसके आसपास की एनवायरमेंटल कंडीशन कैसी है. सो एक्सट्रीम कोल्ड, हीट और रेन में इंक्रीज द रेट्स ऑफ आइटम्स. 7th one is specifications. So if the specification of work provide for rigid type tolerances and superior quality workmanship, the rates will be on the higher side, and if the specification of work provide the flexible type and so not a superior quality workmanship, the rates will be on the lower side. Okay. So now in next point is conditions of contract. If the conditions of contract are very steep, the rates of the various items will be high and वाइस वर्सा. तो जो कंडीशन ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है वो केस है, अगर स्टीप होगा तो जो वहाँ पे वो उसका आइटम रेट होगा वो हाई होगा, एंड वाइस वर्सा यानी कि कंडीशन ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है वो स्टीप नहीं होगा तो जो उसका वेरियस आइटम्स का रेट है वो लो होगा. नाउ नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज टाइम लिमिट. इफ द टाइम लिमिट फॉर द वर्क इज शॉर्ट, द रेट्स विल बी ऑन द हायर साइड एंड वाइस वर्सा. नाउ transportation cost. If the materials and labors are to be transported to the workplace from far places, the rates of items will increase. 11th point, availability of water and electricity. So if we have to discuss in detail availability of water and electricity, all items of construction water is required, and to run mixture machine, vibrator, drill machine, reinforcement bar cutter, etc., electricity is required. So easy availability of water and electricity at site may reduce the rates of items. So now 12th point is contractor's profit. So in the usual percentage of the profit of the contractor is 8 to 15%, and if it is more or less, the rate of the item will be accordingly affected. Now 13th point, overhead charges. This include such items as office rent, salaries of office staff, postage, lighting, travelling, telephone expenses, stationery are considered in the overhead charges, and this is usually 2.5 to 5% is taken, and overhead charges increase if the progress of a project is delayed, and it may be of two types, general overheads and job overheads. And 14th point as well as last point is the miscellaneous. So the miscellaneous factors affecting rates of items include reputation of the contracting firm, discipline of the organization, terms of payments, etc. are considered in the factors affecting rate analysis. Okay. So in next slide we have discussed in detail schedule of rate. In short form is SOR. So schedule of rates is a list of rates of various items of work. So schedule of rate में क्या होगा कि वहाँ पे लिस्ट होगा rates of various items of work का, and to facilitate the preparation of estimate and also to serve as a guide in settling rates in connection with contract agreements. A schedule of rates for all items of work is maintained in the form of printed books and known as schedule of rate. SOR are likely to vary. The SOR is periodically revised, usually after 3 years. After 3 years, SOR may be revised, and this SOR contains the rates of about 2,500 to 3,000 items are considered in the SOR. Okay. So as the Central Public Work Department, in short form CPWD, and a premier construction organizations of the Government of India maintain printed schedule of rates books for various items, as well as estimate is prepared with these rates. And the CPWD and SOR, the items are covered under different subheads like building work, road work, water supply and sanitary items. The rates of the finished items are worked out by the analysis of rates with the standard requirements of materials, labor, equipments and necessary sundries like water charges and contractors' profits. etc. are considered in the schedule of rates. So in next slide we have to discuss in detail analysis of rates for earthwork. So in the analysis of rates for earthwork, so in them first activity is earthwork in excavation in trenches for foundations and for pipes cables as not exceeding 1.5 meter width, as well as lift 1.5 meter and lead considered as 30 meter ordinary soil for 10 cubic meter. So in a particulars activity as well as particulars labors are mentioned in the first column, second column quantity, third column in rate, and fourth column is amount or rate. So in particulars, mazdoor are used in the earthwork in excavation. Quantity is for 10 cubic meter is 3.25 और rate 1 cubic meter के लिए 450. So quantity is 3.25 multiplied by 450, यानी कि अमाउंट आएगी 1462.5. So water charges may be taken is 1% and amount is 14.625. So and profit and overhead may be taken as a 10%, as well as we have to consider the amount 147.71. So total of these three items 1462.5 plus 14.625 plus 147.71, and this sum is total 1624.83 for 10 cubic meter. And if we have to consider for a 1 cubic meter, and the total cost may be 162.48. So in next slide we have to discuss earthwork in excavation in trenches for foundations while cables not exceeding 1.5 meter width. It is in this first point we have to consider as ordinary soil. In second slide we have to consider in dense soil. So for 10 cubic meters, so particulars in first column, second column quantity, third column rate, and fourth column is amount. So for मजदूर, तो जो उसका एक्सकेवेशन के जो मजदूर है तो 1 cubic meter के लिए उसका रेट आएगा 450. So 450 multiplied by 5, यानी कि 2250. Second one is water considered as 1% and rate is 22.5. Third one profit and overhead, quantity is 10% and cost may arise as 227.25. So total is 2499.75, as well as we have to consider for a particular cubic meter. So cost is 249.97. Third one is earthwork in excavation in trenches for foundation and for pipes cables and not exceeding 1.5 meter. So lift is considered as 1.5 meter and lead 30 meter dense soil and with soaring की बात की जाए तो 10 cubic meter के लिए particular quantity rate and amount. So मजदूर है वो 5 meter cubic quantity की बात की जाए per meter cube का रेट है 450. So amount for a मजदूर for a labor cost is 2250. Soaring labor considered 25%, in rate 562.5. Water charges may be taken as 1%, so its cost is 28.125. Okay, and profit and overhead considered 10%, so 284.06. So this total is 3124.688. एंड पर्टिकुलर पर क्यूबिक मीटर की बात की जाए तो 312.46 अमाउंट है वो लगेगा. इन नेक्स्ट स्लाइड वी हैव टू डिस्कस इन डिटेल फिलिंग अवेलेबल excavated earth in trenches, plinth sides of foundation layers, 200 mm consolidating layer by layer and watering. So lift 1.5 meter, lead 50 meter and dense soil for 10 cubic meter. So मजदूर है वो उसकी क्वांटिटी 2.33 क्वांटिटी मीटर क्यूब आएगा और वहाँ पे उसका रेट होगा 450. So total amount is 1050. Water charges is 1%, so 10.5. third one, profit and overhead 10%, 106.05. So total cumulative total is 1166.55 and per cubic meter 116.65. So fifth activity is filling in plinth with local sand under floors including ramming, consolidating and dressing complete. So for 10 cubic meter particulars quantity rate amount, so हेड मेसन तो वो वहाँ पे क्वांटिटी आएगी 0.08 मीटर क्यूब, तो पर मीटर का रेट होगा वो 600 होगा, तो अमाउंट आएगी 50 एंड मजदूर 2.5 रेट 450. ओके, सो amount is 1125. Fine sand 10 cubic meter and rate is 400. So amount is 4000. Water may be considered as 1%, so 51.75 and profit and overhead 10%, so 522.675. So this total is 5749.42 and per cubic meter is 574.94. So sixth activity is one brick layer plates rolling joints filled with local sand for 10 square meter. Particulars quantity rate and amount for mason quantity 0.8 meter cube and its rate per day is 600. So for 600 multiplied by 0.8 is amount is 480. Mazdoor 1.6 meter cube, rate is 450 and amount is 720. So bricks is quantity 1500, rate 6.4. So total amount in bricks 9600. Sand is 0.373, rate is 400, so 149.2. Contingency lump sum 0.5% considered and the amount is 54.746. So in water 1% taken and rate is 110.03 and profit and overhead considered 10%, so 1111.399. So total cost may arise in the one brick layer plate soling joints filled with local sand is 12,225.38 and per square meter 1,222.53. So in 7th activity and analysis of rates for earthwork, cement concrete 1 gem 4 gem 8 with graded stone ballast 40 mm down in foundation. So particular quantity rate amount, head mason 0.25 quantity rate is 800, so 800 multiplied by 0.25, so amount is 200. Second is mason, quantity is 2 meter cube and rate is 600, so 600 multiplied by 2 1200. Mazdoor 20 quantity, rate is 450, so 450 multiplied by 20, so may it is a 9000. Stone ballast 9.6, rate 1200, 11520. Sand 4.8, 400, 1920. Cement is 35 quantity cube and rate is 350 and 12,250. Contingency lump sum 0.5%, 180.45 rate. Water considered as a 1% and rate is 360.70. Profit and overhead 10% and 3,663.11. So total cost is 40,294.27 for 10 cubic meter, and if we have to consider as a 1 cubic meter, so total cost is 4,029.42. In next slide we have to discuss cement concrete 1 gem 2 gem 4 with graded stone chips from 20 mm down to mm for RCC works excluding shuttering and reinforcement for 10 cubic meter. So in next particulars, different labors as well as materials, quantity, rate, amount. So head mason है वो उसकी quantity 0.25 मीटर क्यूब और उसका रेट है 800, तो अमाउंट आएगी 200 रुपीज़. मेसन 2 क्वांटिटी, सो रेट 600, सो यानी कि 1200. मजदूर 20 क्वांटिटी as well as 20 मजदूर and rate is 450, so 450 multiplied by 20, so 9000 and stone ballast 8.8 multiplied by 1200, so 10,560. Sand is 4.4, rate 400, so 400 multiplied by 4.4, and we meeting as value is 1760. Cement quantity 64 meter cube and rate is 350, so 350 multiplied by 64, so 22,400. Contingency lump sum 0.50%, 225.6. Water considers 1%, 451.456. Profit and overhead 10%, 457.970. So total 50,376.676, and per cubic meter 5,037.67. Okay, so analysis of rates for earthwork, we have to consider 8 different activities as well, 8 different conditions for analysis of rates for earthwork. So now in this video session are completed here in first lecture, and in this lecture we talk about what is the rate analysis and fixing rate per unit of an item, consider material cost, लेबर कोस्ट, कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विपमेंट यानी कि टूल्स एंड प्लांट, और उसके बाद हमने देखा पर्पस एंड इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ रेट एनालिसिस, उसके बाद फैक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग रेट एनालिसिस, उसके बाद शेड्यूल ऑफ रेट SOR, एंड शेड्यूल ऑफ रेट के बाद हमने देखा एनालिसिस ऑफ रेट्स फॉर अर्थवर्क डिफरेंट conditions. Okay, so now in this particular unit name is rate analysis. First video lecture is over, and in this video session if any query arises during the entire video session, so you can also contact me on my personal contact number, and my personal contact number is 8866302551. Okay, thank you.